Have you ever been in the zone? Imagine you're doing something about which you're so passionate. All your focus is only on that thing. Time stands still. You become one with the moment. Nothing else exists for you other than what you're doing. A heightened state of awareness, where thoughts and emotions no longer get in the way of your pure, raw being. It was a beautiful summer evening. I was cooking. I was living alone at that time. The balcony in the kitchen was open, and I could feel the cool breeze throughout the house. I was lost in the moment, as I was carefully cutting the carrots and the onions, as I was heating up the oil in the pan, as I was kneading the bread. It was almost as if I had ceased to exist. I became one with the work I was doing. I was going with the flow. I didn't know where I ended and the work I was doing began. At that moment, I existed in perfect harmony with the universe. I consider it as one of the most powerful meditation sessions of my life. Yet I wasn't sitting, nor were my eyes closed. I still carry that moment with me. I cherish it. In Chinese history, the philosophy of flow is referred to as Wu Wei, which means effortless action or effortless doing. In some traditions of ancient India, the concept of samyama is a form of flow state, sharing many similarities with the Japanese Zen concept of mushin. Taoism is a philosophical, religious, and spiritual tradition from ancient China. It strongly emphasizes living in harmony with the Tao. Most commentators and translators agree in translating Tao as the way. In Taoism, Tao is thought to be the source, pattern, and substance of everything that exists. Taoism has been connected to the philosopher Lao Tzu, who around 500 BCE wrote the primary literature of Taoism, the Tao Te Ching. The Tao Te Ching, or the Way and its Power, is a collection of poetry and sayings from around the 3rd and 4th century BCE that guides one's thoughts and actions. But first, who's Lao Tzu? Lao Tzu, often referred to as the first philosopher of Chinese Taoism and the author of Tao Te Ching, but modern scholars discount the possibility that the Tao Te Ching was written by only one person. Little is truly known about Lao Tzu. He is said to have been a record keeper in the court of the central Chinese Zhou dynasty in the 6th century BC, and an older contemporary of Confucius. This could be true, but he may also have been entirely mythical. It's not an exaggeration to call Lao Tzu a ghostly figure. Derek Lin, in his translation of Tao Te Ching, explains the relationship between Lao Tzu and Taoism as follows. Perhaps the most common misconception encountered by Westerners is that Lao Tzu himself was the founder of Taoism, which he was not. By the time Lao Tzu walked the earth 2,500 years ago, the concept of the Tao had already been an integral part of the Chinese culture for thousands of years. As the story puts it, Lao Tzu was looking to get away, not found a movement. By writing the Tao Te Ching, he was simply honoring a request to pass on the learning and the knowledge of those who had preceded him. Take a look at this symbol. You're probably already familiar with this. This is called Yin Yang. Although Taoism and the Tao Te Ching were not originally associated with a symbol known as the Yin Yang, they have both come to be because the philosophy of the Daoism embodies the Yin Yang principle and Yin Yang thought. Yin Yang is the principle of natural and complementary forces, patterns, and things that depend on one another. These may be masculine and feminine, darkness and light, wet and dry, or action and inaction. These are opposites that fit together seamlessly and work in perfect harmony. You can see this by looking at the Yin-Yang symbol. The Yin-Yang concept is not the same as Western dualism because the two opposites are not at war but in harmony. This can be seen very clearly in the symbol. The dark area contains a spot of light and the light area contains a spot of dark, and the two opposites are intertwined and bound together within the unifying circle. Yin and Yang are not static. The balance ebbs and flows between them. This is implied in the flowing curve where they meet. Yin-Yang reminds us that there is a natural order to the universe, and productivity comes from harmony. When this harmony is broken, problems can occur. An interesting aspect of Daoism is how it deals with morality and concepts such as good and bad. There are no bad people according to Taoist principles, only people who behave badly. Given the proper education and guidance toward understanding how the universe works, anyone could be a good person living in harmony with the earth and with others. The best way for a person to live, according to Daoism, is to submit to whatever life brings and be flexible. If a person adapts to the changes in life easily, that person will be happy. If a person resists the changes in life, that person will be unhappy. One's ultimate goal is to live at peace with the way of the Tao and recognize that everything that happens in life should be accepted as part of the eternal force which binds and moves through all things. The past couple of years have been extremely hard for me, not just because of the pandemic but also because of some personal revelations. Life has been relentlessly throwing one crisis after another. I read Tao Te Ching in preparation for this episode, and I have to say I was mesmerized by its verses and ideas. The poems contained in Tao Te Ching has been providing me with much needed comfort and calm. I'm looking forward to reading it again and again at various stages of my life. The opening verse of the Tao Te Ching goes like this: "The Tao that can be spoken is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be named is not the eternal name. The nameless is the origin of heaven and earth. The named is the mother of myriad things. Thus constantly without desire, one can observe its essence. Constantly with desire, one can observe its manifestations. These two emerge together but differ in name. The unity is said to be the mystery of mysteries, the door to all wonders." In his book, Tao Te Ching, Annotated and Explained, author Derek Lin explains each verse line by line. The Tao that can be spoken is not the eternal Tao. The first line of the Tao Te Ching can be one of the most confusing. Some have interpreted it to mean that we must never speak of the Tao, or that if we try to explain it, then we must have no true understanding of it. What it actually means is that we can never understand the Tao through the intellect alone. We must feel it. Talking about it can be useful, but will never replace the actual experience of living it. The name that can be named is not the eternal name. Not only is the Tao beyond the power of spoken words to describe, but it is also beyond the power of written words to define. That which can be defined is limited by the definition, and the Tao transcends all limitations. The nameless is the origin of heaven and earth. Before the universe came into being, concepts and things did not exist, and no human consciousness was present to perceive and name them. Therefore, the Tao that initiated creation was the ultimate nameless enigma. The named is the mother of myriad things. Once the universe came into being, the stage was set for the physical manifestation of everything, including human beings. These humans eventually attained sufficient awareness to observe all things and name them. Thus, constantly without desire, one can observe its essence. Constantly with desire, one can observe its manifestations. Self-serving desires tend to limit us to a superficial level. If we think of other people and not just focus on ourselves, we will find it much easier to connect with the underlying reality. This applies to every aspect of life. It's one of the most powerful teachings of the Tao. These two emerge together but differ in name. The unity is said to be the mystery of mysteries, the door to all wonders. The two refer to manifestation, outer appearance, and essence, inner truth. They represent the material world and the spiritual realm respectively. Both emerge from the Tao. Because the Tao encompasses all, not only spirituality, but also the physical universe, the basic unity of the two is the mystery that we investigate in Tao cultivation. As you can see, there is incredible wisdom and a lot to unpack right from the very first verse of this book, and it has 81 profound and densely packed verses. Tao Te Ching provided me with some much needed calm at a time of despair. In the coming weeks, months and years, I'm looking forward to reading and rereading this book, relishing in its ancient wisdom. What is my end goal? My goal is to be truly content and quiet in my actions and thoughts. My goal is to go with the flow.